Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a pretty ropey rack. I've got scoring tiles, but the vowels that go with them are not good ones. No E's, and it's double IOU, which is pretty grim. The best I can see on this rack is higher, keeping IOU, which is a pretty dreadful rack leave. So I think I'd need at least 20 points to justify playing that rather than changing. Is there anything else available with this rack? Not that I can see. There are shorter words, maybe U, keeping AHII. Probably a better rack leave than IOU. 50 points for my opponent, a good start for him. So does higher play? Well, it does. It plays here. And that's 26 points, so that certainly is better than changing. That also plays at I1, but I don't think that's a better play. So I'm going with this. Okay. Still fairly non-bingo-y. I've got Zobu down from the Z, but that doesn't get doubled. I think this is probably too good to change. So how to sort this rack out? I've got the B for score, and I certainly want to play off at least one of the U's. So I can see U-bit on my rack. Does that play anywhere? Well, annoyingly, I don't think it does. So do I have anything through ZO? Don't think so. I've got the out prefix. Well, this is pretty grim. Maybe I should change. This is a very blocked board. Nothing can go after AE. Nothing goes after higher. So scoring potential is really limited. I'm thinking about changing. And I am going to change. Really no candidate plays coming to mind at all. So I'll keep RT back. Wow, and that is where changing pays off. That is a fantastic rack. I am definitely bingoing. Bingo lanes rows I and F could both be blocked, but I think any such play would create new bingo lanes, and this is a really flexible rack. So do I have anything through ZO? That would be a 9-letter play, but I've got the S, so an 8-letter play would be within the words that I've studied. Nothing remotely coming to mind. So what do I have in row F? Well, a ton of bingos. I have editors, for example. But do I have a play starting above YA or indeed above ID? I think while my opponent is thinking, I'll squiz through the alphabet and see what comes to mind. Okay, he's thought. Let me put this back. Nice play. Nothing goes in front of G. So I'm looking at plays which begin above YA or begin below ID. So what about plays which begin below ID, preferably beginning with S to avoid sticking the S out in the open? YA takes an E. So do I have anything beginning SE? Don't think so. So roasted and torsade don't fit. Let me go through the alphabet and see what comes to mind. I have got torsade and editors the beginning above the A, so I have a bingo in my pocket. I'm looking for a better one. Ah, look at this. There's another bingo lane I hadn't considered, which is column 9. And I've got broasted down there, pluralizing Zeta. Great for 75. Slightly dangerous with this O and E in respect of the X. But I'm going with this. And my W can go after the O. But I can't see a way of getting that to score twice, so I may not play that. Broasted is quite open. Not only does it provide these triple letter squares next to vowels, it also provides access to the 2 triple word squares in column 8. So this should really blow the board wide open after quite a tight start. And we're really close, only 6 points between us. Great, only 16 for my opponent. And my opponent's got a rating about 100 more than me, and I've played him before, and I think he's really good. So this should be a good battle. A new spot for my W. So I've got woad. Tempting. Although it's 3 vowels in the lead, they're 3 nice vowels. It's 36 points, which is good. Is there something better? What about a 5-letter play in column 8? Either at the top or the bottom, but I'm considering the bottom first. That looks more promising. I don't think there's a 6-letter play. Can't see a 5-letter play. What about at the top? Maybe a 4-letter play? Ending in O or A. Not seeing it. Well, this feels pretty volatile. Woe takes a T in front, and there will be tiles which go in front of AL, but I'm going with this. 36 points is a good score. Not too great. I draw a couple of vowels. It could have been worse. I can sort this out with rear my through the R. Only 18 points. Now, what about placing my M on one of these triple letter squares? I was going to say it can go in front of Al, but my opponent's gotten there first with his B. I have Aimer at the bottom of column 8. 27 points. That's tempting because it leaves only 2 vowels. I think most of my other options leave more. Except, what about Ami here? 27 points, a good score. And this is a better rack leave than just EI. Anything better than 27? I don't think so. I'm going with this. Not great, but I think I have a bingo. I think I have Tira V through the R of broasted. Hopefully that will stay available. This looks quite juicy, the playing parallel to Ami. So my opponent may be drawn to that, leaving Tira V alone. If that's blocked, not such a good rack. I'm going to struggle to play off 2 I's and the V. Well, I guess I have Vibia through the B, but if the R's blocked, the B may be as well. And opponent could block both by playing down from A8. He can't play down at the bottom of column 8 because DI takes nothing in front. Still 1 blank to come. Okay, there it goes. And my opponent blocks my Tira V spot, which is a shame, given how ropey this rack is. And he gets 83 points to move into a 70-point lead. Still quite an open board. So what can I do about this? I guess I'd like to make the board even more open. I could play Ivy here. creating a lane in column C because Ivy takes a T in front. And this rack is not too bad. If it was just EIRT, it would be a very good four-letter set. There's only one I to come, so I'm very unlikely to have triplicate I. 3 S's to come. That's useful since Ami only takes an S. And S also goes after Tay and Foul. Although each does take other hooks. But only 18 points. Actually, that's not a bad score. What about a play in column 12 to open up column 13? So I could play Vi, keeping double IRT. That doesn't seem very attractive. Only 12 points as well. I'm going with Ivy. Pretty good. I can't see a 7 here, but this is very close to a bingo. Take out the I, and the remaining tiles are promising. But very few floaters on the board. Can't see anything beginning with N. Can't see anything through DI. Or through RL, R and L. From an H, I would have hieratic. So how to sort this rack out? Playing off just the I, although it's going to leave a good rack leave, it's not going to score very much. Okay, I have a floater, or a couple of floaters, W and O. Opponent scoring 46 points for that. He's now about 100 points in the lead. W and C don't go well together, so I might just have to leave that alone. Or I could play waiter. 27 points to increase my chances of drawing an S. Sometimes you just need to break up a rack which is bingo-y if you haven't got a bingo. I think it's important to have an S. So and also this stops my opponent scoring easily from this spot. Okay, well, I don't draw an S. I have a pretty grim rack. Okay, and I think I'd overlooked that T-hook, and I did have one last go. But 39 points for my opponent, a good score for him. So is this a rack I should play through? I've got a P for going after DI, and indeed my V can go in that spot. Well, I'm tempted to change here. This is just difficult to manage. I think I'll keep CIR because there's only one I, and the C is a bingo-y tile. That's looking better. But I'm not seeing a 7 with this rack. There is a 7 at a bingo lane in column 2. I suspect there are some 8s with these tiles. Nothing beginning with N, but that's a pretty unlikely starting tile for a bingo. So I think I need to start developing column 13 by playing in column 12. $29 points for my opponent. He's continuing to score well. Just wondering if I've got anything across from the U of La Ligue. Can't see anything. So I have Chit keeping URE, which scores well, 28 points, and does open column 13. It'd be nice to play off the U, but I'm not seeing a way of doing that which gets anything like this score. I'm going with this. Well, I do get an S, but the remaining tile's fairly non-bingo-y. So are there any good J spots with this rack? Well, I have Roji and Rhea. That's pretty good, over 30 points. Preserving my vowels. 8 vowels out of 23 tiles, so quite a vowel dry bag. I'm 110 points behind with my opponent on turn, so I'm not in good shape, but the game is not over yet. Okay, it's looking increasingly like it is over. That's a great bingo by my opponent, 79 points. The Roji spot remains available, 9 tiles in the bag. So Roji for 33. I draw the X. So I have Axe and Hox. Any other good X spots? Well, there's the O of Ferment, so I've got Axe and Ox there. That will score even more. And even better, I've got Zoo, Ox, and Mew, leaving a pretty good rack leave of AEGNS. So I should be able to close this gap on my opponent, but I think he's too far ahead to catch. Fortunately, the remaining tiles look pretty unbingo-y for him. But if I'm playing off X and U, my 5-letter rack leave is quite bingo-y. And there are still bingo lanes open on this board. One in column 14, created by my opponent's bingo, and also row M, pluralising Ami, and rows N and O, hooking foul and playing off the N. Opponent's taken my better spot. So do I have anywhere else for XU? Don't think so. So what I was thinking of playing was AX. Look at that, 3 N's to come. And I've got an N. The duplicate N is going to be bad news for this rack. AX significantly less bingo-y than playing off U and X. But this is 44 points. And I can't see anything... Can't see anywhere else for XU. So I'm going with this. Well, I have Gunnels, but I don't think that plays anywhere. SU not good, otherwise it would play in column 14. And Ami taking an S, but that doesn't work with Gunnels. 1 tile in the bag. Nice play by my opponent, playing off a lot of tiles. And providing no floaters. And I can see his remaining tiles. He's got Brew or Rub or Herb. So he's got Herb and Goo. And he's got Rub and Fowler. So he's certainly going out. So I need to maximise my score with this rack. I'm not sure if Vendings is good. It is, so I could play Snug, which disrupts his Herb and Goo. Scores 23 points, and I don't think I'm going to score much more than that. So just waiting for my opponent to make his final play. And that's the end of that. Final score, 337 to me, 503 to my opponent, a winning margin of 166 points. So a huge win for my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first, and he has a great rack. Wow, he has Do Piazza. Difficult one to see. He plays Zyder for 50. And although he's retaining the blank, that's not as good as playing Do Piazza because the blank's worth about 25 points, not 52. Now, my rack. And I play higher for 26. I could have got 4 more points, but keeping duplicate eye and a duplicate tile is worth about 5 points, so I prefer higher. Opponent's rack. He plays foe. And this was a rack I struggled with. I think I may have changed. Let me see. I did indeed. But I could have played rub out and Yar, which would have been better than changing. And Fibro, I3, down from the F, keeping W. I don't really like that, but probably better than changing. So I think, yeah, maybe several plays there are better than changing. Opponent's rack, he has Telegy. Misses that, plays Tig, and he's got a 70-point lead. But now I've got some bingos. F9. Ah, okay, so Pastard was available, but 2 more points than Broasted, but Broasted is fine. Opponent plays foul. And then I have Woad. Yep, that looks better than the other options. Wow, opponent has unedible at K6 through the D. Doesn't see it, plays Bian. Now I play Ami for 27. I could have got 6 more points for Imari, but I think the Rackley, the VIR, may well be 6 points better than Double E. And if it's not, it's going to be very close. Opponent here has, wow, D1. Quillet and 2. Wow, 130-point bingo. Okay, fortunately for me, he doesn't see that, and he plays Lalique for 83, blocking my Tiravi. Viridite, K5. Wow, double through the DI. Non-bingo. That would have been good. What do I do? I think I do something pretty lame. Ivy for 18. Yeah. Well, I think it's only Viridite, which is clearly better than Ivy. Now, opponent's rack, he plays Wok, but could have played Mech at L4. Okay. Making Balm and E-Day. And now I do get a bingo rack, and I'm only a bingo behind. But I don't have a playable bingo. But there is another double-double that I miss. Triadic for 40. So I play Waiter for 27. Yeah. And our opponent's rack, he plays Ferment for 39. And he now moves into a 109-point lead. And this is the killer blow. I play Waiter trying to draw an S and have a bingo-y rack, but this is miles away from a bingo, and I feel that I'm forced to change. And look at these rack leaves. If you ignore the scores and look at the rack leaves, they're horrendous, and the scores aren't great. So even though Pierre scores 27 points, I prefer changing. Opponent's rack plays Aroid. Now I played Chit, F2. I could have played Hut. Let me just go back and look at that rack. Hut keeping Rice. I think Hut would have been better, 33 points. It's 5 more points than Chit, and it's a better rack leave. Opponent has Ocitrus, which was a great spot, and is now, well, 190 points in the lead. I have Roji for 33. Opponent plays Peepo. And I have Axe for 44. L4. EAUX. Okay, that's quite interesting for 55. But only 2 vowels left. Only 3 tiles in the bag, so I prefer Axe, leaving 1 in the bag and keeping a vowel. Opponent plays vending. And finally, nowhere for my gunnels. I play snug, although slung would have been better by a couple of points. And leng available at L4. Okay, quite nice. And finally, opponent goes out with rub for 14. He could have got 18 by playing parallel to snug. So, pretty brutal encounter against a really strong player. And some good words there. Good words played and good words missed. So, hopefully it was enjoyable watching those words. And there were some tricky decisions to make in that game. So, I hope you enjoyed watching it. And I will see you next time.